Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesa Wekanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Alfred Okanse. Coming up tonight.
360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil,
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste,
and Apart Foods.
My Life Insurance.
Tonight, an Accra Magistrate Court issues bench warrant for the arrest of Inshaeso Member of Parliament Stephen Amoa and one Samuel Enim for failing to appear before court over road traffic offences.
Also tonight, security experts criticize payment of 800 cedis for medical examination by applicants of some security services, describing the action as unethical and unprofessional.
Also tonight, in view of the mandatory vaccination of public sector workers, health workers and security personnel, TV3 has gathered the unvaccinated employees of some banks are required to provide negative tests before being allowed entry every week.
Coming up in business news tonight, Chairman of the oil and gas sector of the Association of Ghana Industries, Kwame Jantwa, calls for depoliticization of management of Tema Oil Refinery.
And on international front tonight, Olaf Scholz also warns on he's been sworn in as Germany's new chancellor, formally taking power after Angela Merkel's historic 16 years as leader. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. The National Democratic Congress, NDC, has also stated its position to oppose the e-levy in the 2022 budget. According to the NDC, the 2022 budget, referred to by the party as the Ewudie budget, is only an avenue to increase borrowing. My colleague Judith Awachitando reports.
As the Lord liveth, none of our 137 MPs will even support 0.00001% e-levy.
The NDC has reiterated its resolve to ensure that its MPs continue to oppose the 2022 budget. While speaking at a public forum organized by the party, General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, explained that the party will not relent in its efforts to ensure that the right things are done.
We still stand firmly by our initial position. If they are able to bulldoze it through, we have agreed with our members of parliament that boycott is not an option. Because if we boycott, what it means is that all these other stages will be railroaded.
A member of the Finance Committee in Parliament, Isaac Adongo, further revealed at the forum that Ghana was the worst performing country in all of West Africa in terms of public debt.
Since 2017, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would have spent 530 billion Ghana cedis. Not even 10% of that can be found in the flagship programs. So in 2017, when they took 51 billion, they spent only 2 billion on flagship programs.
In effect, the party is calling for an expansion in production, which will in turn raise revenue, cut borrowing, as well as the collection of taxes. Judith Awachitando, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's go to Parliament, where the Justice for Ghana movement has presented its petition to the House after the police had secured a restraining order from picketing at the precincts of Parliament. The group, among other things, demanded the scrapping of the e-levy.
There were uncertainties when the group first converged on the Efuasebalance Park. The police had secured a restraining order, but the leadership of the group argued that they had not been served.
As you are aware, it is only at 8:43 this morning that in the company of the regional police commander, they brought me the so-called restraining orders. So I asked the police, even in your own orders, you are indicating that we should start at a circle. Why are you here? Because we all agree that we should now come and start at the Efua Sutherland Park. So why will you go to court to still go and say that our demonstration to take the route that you have agreed with us?
But the police said it would enforce the law.
What we will not allow them to do is for them to enter inside the prisons of Parliament, to enter inside the yard. But for presentation of their petition, we are waiting for them to be ready. We police them up to the entrance, then we will signal for the leadership to come forward and receive the petition.
At Parliament House, the main security gate was locked. The leadership of Parliament asked the protesters to present the petition outside Parliament, but they refused.
No, listen to me. Would you listen to me? You will listen. So we only came out to listen to you.
The police then allowed only 10 protesters into the forecourt to present the petition.
We hope that Parliament will speedily pass a new 2022 budget, and we hope you will do so. That speaks to the aspirations of the Ghanaian and make it unnecessary for us to extend our occupation of Parliament to include an occupation of the presidency.
A former Deputy Trades Minister and Chairman of the Trades and Tourism Committee of Parliament has asked those who do not want to pay the 1.75 that's e-transactions levy to stop mobile money transactions. That's his position. The Tema West Member of Parliament, Carlos Ahenkra, says the propaganda against the e-levy for political expediency is nauseating. He spoke exclusively to Komla Kluche.
No human being, I would say, or no person likes to pay tax. In fact, it is a known fact that taxes are generally abhorred by people who are supposed to pay them. So what is happening is quite understandable. But to the extent that it's been used to gain some political points or it's been done for political expediency, for me it's very unfortunate.
The concern is about the charges, and if it's one of the means, or if it's one of the means to which the money would be charged on, then maybe the option to Ghanaians would be to stop the use. Would you advise them to stop using it?
I'll tell you something. I've always been saying that the Momo tax is a compulsory tax. You only pay when you use it. If you don't use it, you don't pay. So for me, there is no way any other procedure for making payments is going to equal Momo. Right now what we are saying is the tax is targeted at those who have the ability to pay, not those who are receiving. If you are receiving, it's okay to go and negotiate with a person who has gone to the bank to borrow money and be a Momo agent to pay money out. Otherwise, keep the money on your phone and you don't pay nobody any money. And it is money targeted at those who want to use the service. Even if I stand here and tell people that, look, if you like, don't pay, or if you like, don't use Momo, I tell you, using Momo will be far cheaper. If you think using the Momo service is difficult or expensive, you try taking your money out there and even see whether you lose some money on the way.
Away from the e-levy, an Accra Magistrate Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the Member of Parliament for Nshayeso, Stephen Amwa, and one Samuel Lenim. The two were among some 7 persons arrested for road traffic offences on Wednesday, December 8. All 7 were put before the Magistrate Court, but the 2 failed to appear. 4 of the drivers were sentenced to pay 1,800 cedis each, which they all paid. The 5th driver was convicted to sign a 3-month bond to be of good behaviour or serve 3 months in prison. The Nshayeso Member of Parliament, Stephen Amwa, and one other person had bench warrants against them for failing to appear before the courts. The police administration has meanwhile directed all police formations throughout the country to clamp down on recalcitrant drivers, especially those who drive V8 vehicles.
Well, some security experts have described as unethical and unprofessional payment of 800 Ghana cedis for medical examination by applicants to some security services. According to them, it is a complete rip-off of the unemployed youth seeking to serve the country.
Applicants to the prison's service are to pay 800 cedis for medical examination. This, according to security experts, is too high for the young unemployed youth.
It is unethical, it is immoral, it is insensitive, and for want of a better word, it is callous. This poses an existential threat to the security of the state than any other issue, more than even terrorism. It is a rip-off, and that shouldn't be encouraged in the first place, because we have police medical facilities. So they can collect the samples at these facilities. They have all the time in the world to run their checks, do their whatever labs it is, and get back to them.
It would have been nice for government to provide enough for them to absorb the cost, because the young men and women in this country are suffering. If you provide them with free opportunity to access a job, and if you are lucky and you are picked, fine. If you are not lucky or you are not competent enough to be picked, fine. But you spend a lot of money, yet there is no hope. It also causes another frustration. It's really a challenge for the country, but whatever challenge is an economic challenge.
Adib Sani wants the monies to be refunded to the applicants, whether or not they get recruited into the services.
Lots of it has to do with poor planning. Because if you plan, if you imbibe all of these into your budget, you should be able to do it without getting exploitative like it is happening. You are going through a recruitment process. Come to even think of it, why do you have to let people pay, to even be considered in the first place, knowing full well that over 90% of the applicants will not get the job? There's no justification. And those monies that have been taken already should be given back to them as a matter of principle.
While West MP and an ex-police officer, Peter Tobu, noted that there is hope of applicants who qualify for the medical examination stage, but that should not warrant such exploitation.
Is it also possible that if you are finally recruited, right, a portion of what you spend can be refunded to you? And if you are not recruited at all, a portion of it can be refunded to you with a thank you message for attempting to join the security services and failed, although.
He, however, wants persons who do not pass the medical examination to be giving their report.
The issue about going through medicals and not receiving any report, only to hear that you failed, I think that it should belong to the past. If I failed, tell me why I failed and what I can do medically so that I can be fit for Mother Ghana, not necessarily for police, immigration, or fire service. So when I pay my 800 Ghana cedis, if that is what they are collecting now, when I'm done, give me the report.
The two expect government to absorb the cost of such medical examinations.
In more news tonight, with a quest to reduce the mortality rate and curb COVID-19 spread, more organizations, corporate bodies and institutions are adopting mandatory vaccination to compel staff to take the jab. TV3 can confirm this phenomenon is gradually gaining grounds here in Ghana. Lord Idoasar explores this development trend.
The requirement for COVID-19 vaccination is gradually becoming a phenomenon to compel persons to vaccinate as countries adopt ways to fight the pandemic. Doctors, teachers and government employees in France, New Zealand and Canada are currently required to be vaccinated before entering workplaces.
Here in Africa, telecommunication giant MTN Group has directed a mandatory vaccination for all employees effective January 2022. Its branch in South Africa has confirmed same. However, our checks here in Ghana reveal that no such directive has been given to staff.
Though government has made the exercise mandatory for all public sector workers, health workers and security personnel, our sources can confirm that some banks have already started implementing same. Employees who haven't been vaccinated are required to provide negative tests before they are allowed entry every week. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association, however, has another plan.
We've been having an event this December, on 17th of December, awards night. And if you're not vaccinated, you're not coming. So we are going to use various measures to ensure that everybody gets vaccinated. And we have also directed our regional constituents to ensure that all activities that are running in the regions, they ensure that all the participants are also vaccinated.
Some critics of the directive are worried it will affect productivity, but an HR expert, James Law, disagrees.
Already, when you are joining an organization, you are required to pass a medical examination. You are required to pass a medical test. If you don't pass the medical test, you will not be employed, because we need healthy people to work, right? So this one is not different from what we already have in the system. And nobody has taken anybody to court because he was asked to do medical tests before joining the organization. So it is just the same way.
As the dynamics of the pandemic changes with new variants emerging, governments will keep adopting strategies to fight it. Lord Edwasari, TV3.
What we already do know is the Ghana Health Service also giving directives to some of these event organizers during this Christmas festivities to also ensure that persons who come in are vaccinated. But the acting gender minister, Cecilia Dapa, led a team to raid the streets of Accra of foreign nationals engaged in soliciting for arms. My colleague Elikem Kunkpe was with the team. Let's come through with this report.
Begging is rampant in Accra despite efforts by city authorities to clamp down on the menace. The latest of such interventions is by the acting Minister for Gender, Child and Social Protection, Cecilia Benadapa, who targeted some bus stops at Shiashi, Opebia and 37. She noted that the exercise is mainly to see at first hand the situation and then go back to the drawing board.
Ghana, we are very hospitable, but we will not allow people to seep through our borders and come and live anyhow, anywhere in Ghana. It's not allowed anywhere in the world. So we've asked them, like I said, we'll contact. So far, you all heard clearly that they say they are from Niger. They are brothers and sisters, yes. But we'll contact the embassy through our foreign ministry to see what can be done. Some were saying they need money to go back. They worked here, but they need money to go back. But they should leave the dangerous spots that they are occupying.
Although the fate of beggars remain uncertain, the acting minister insisted that efforts were underway to ensure their repatriation.
We are here for the good of the children, for the good of the adults, and to make sure lawlessness is eradicated.
President Akufo-Addo has reiterated ECOWAS's resolve to restore democracy in Mali and Guinea. He was speaking at this year's Kofi Annan Peace and Security Forum in Accra.
As President of the Republic of Ghana and current chair of the Authority of ECOWAS States and Governments, I pledge to continue to respect the tenets of the ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance, and specifically the following. I will not make or cause to be made any substantial modification to the electoral laws in the last 6 months before the next election. I will respect the 2-term limit for the exercise of presidential authority as stipulated in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. I will not be an impediment to the conduct of free and fair, transparent elections. I'll hand over power to the next elected president on 7th January 2025. And I will rally my fellow ECOWAS heads of state to take the pledge and support them as they continue to work towards democracy and good governance in their respective countries.
Well, some Class 4 pupils in Kumasi have expressed their readiness to also write the National Standardized Test. The test aimed at evaluating learning outcomes in English and mathematics, as indicated by the Minister of Education, is scheduled for December 17.
The maiden edition of the test to be administered by WAEC is to afford the Education Ministry the opportunity to assess the reading capabilities of learners in Primary 4 at the new Asaf Primary School students are poised to write their first external examination. They say they have been adequately prepared for the tests.
I am prepared for the exams. I have learned a lot of books for the exams. My teacher have taught me a lot of readings and exercise.
English and PE. Yeah, I so happy write exams. My mother happy say I'm going to class 5. And
the situation is not different from Amenkwetia and Amokom primary schools. Pupils are busily preparing. In the Asukwa municipality, 1,009 primary 4 pupils in 19 schools will partake in the test. The Municipal Education Directorate says measures are being put in place to ensure teachers adequately prepare pupils for the test.
Our teachers are doing everything possible to make sure that the children pass the exams and pass well. We are making sure that the textbooks and the materials that we have or that are available to us are completed. That is the most important thing. And it is from these books that the exams questions are coming from. So the curriculum. So we are not bothering ourselves with whatever somebody is saying elsewhere.
The test is scheduled to take place on Friday, December 17. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Meanwhile, the Education Ministry is liaising with the Regional Education Directorates, district officers and centers to help in the preparation of teachers and students ahead of the National Standardization Test. Deputy Education Minister John Ntimfojua says this is in creating awareness among individuals taking part in the exercise.
NST is being done in conjunction with WAEC, Ghana Education Service, NACA, and all our education stakeholders at the regional levels, at the district levels, our teachers in all the schools and centers that have been designated, and very serious preparations have been done and put underway, sensitization and engagement to ensure that people understand, and in particular our teachers and learners appreciate that that is not a test that is to rank to know which basic school is the best or which student is the best in the country. It is a diagnostic tool, and it is going to give us a very informed idea to be able to know exactly what intervention we need to deploy. And when they get to P6, having course corrected in P5, the same stream will be tracked. And when they get to P6, we'll test them again. And when we test them, the level to which improvement has been received, and to also to identify which areas will further require.
Well, let's stay with the Deputy Minister of Education, Reverend John Ntimfojua. He's called on stakeholders in the education sector to fashion out educational programs to nurture young talents in the country. He made the observation at the inauguration of the Board of Academic Talent Development Program here in Accra.
The Academic Talent Development Program is designed to challenge and empower students in the pursuit of excellence. It is targeted at motivating young individuals by creating opportunities and leveraging international exposure and global networks.
It creates a platform through STEAM projects, through competitions, through career guidance and mentorship, through scholarship programs, so that students can be able to get the nurturing they need, the grooming they need, and be able to compete with the rest of the world. That's the essence of the Academic Talent Development Program. We are working with schools, so we have about 10 schools that we are working with, but we want to expand so that we can give that same opportunity to the student somewhere in WA or elsewhere who doesn't have the opportunity.
Deputy Education Minister John Ntimfojua underscored the importance of developing the innovative ability of individuals in educational programming.
We need to reimagine education and even to bring to bear the practicality of science, technology, engineering and mathematics. ATDP is going to be able to offer practical robotics, artificial intelligence and many insightful practical innovation tools to these young and bright students, expose them to the kind of skills required to lead innovations and inventions that are critical for our transformation as a continent.
The board is mandated to supervise students and implement educational projects through exposure and international programs.
Vodafone Foundation, as part of its Mark This Month Birthday Stars initiative, has presented assorted items to the pediatrics unit of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. The event was also to mark this year's World Children's Day.
The event by Vodafone Foundation is a second of its kind to commemorate World Children's Day. Children on admission at the pediatrics ward spent time with veteran gospel artist Helena Rabels and the Pounds, a broadcaster who are both December borns. The initiative is intended to resolve some social problems while supporting children to develop interest in digitization education.
This Vodafone Birthday Stars program comes about by our bonding with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So every month we have an activity that we pick, and also a vulnerable group or needy children or needy society that we pick up. And the kids in here, as we spoke to most of them, some have been in here on admission for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months and over. And so we thought if we are able to bring close to them robotics, STEM teaching, and also some fun games, it will at least integrate them or reintegrate them back into the society.
The excited children expressed gratitude to Vodafone for the gesture.
Well, families who lost their relatives to hugely contentious December 2020 election in Ghana are still grieving their loss 1 year on. Those who were severely injured are also struggling to get their lives back on track. Experts say the silence on the part of the Ghana Police Service 1 year after the bloody incident that led to the loss of lives sent a worrying signal which could actually incite people or serve as a precedent in the next election. Komla Adom went to meet one of the families at Jamestown here in Accra.
It feels like it was yesterday. Mother of 15-year-old Rita Otu, who was killed during the December 2020 election in the Ododo-Diodio constituency, tells me. As she speaks to me, grandmother of a little girl is in tears.
Oh, Rita. Oh.
Events of that fateful day are playing back on her mind. For Dinah Otu, the death of her daughter has changed her life forever.
When
I see her colleagues going to school, I remember her and I always break down.
And as she tells me, there have been no police contacts or investigations into circumstances that led to her daughter's death since the incident.
We have been all by ourselves. Nobody has been here to ask about her death since last year. She helped me do my trading business, and without her, I am lonely.
The Otu family is just one of 6 who lost their relative during the chaotic election. But while they continue to grieve, they hope someday the death of their daughter will be avenged. For governance experts and political watchers, the silence and inaction on the part of the police 1 year on is unacceptable. Professor Kwesi Jonah is Senior Research Fellow at the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEG.
Some people unfortunately lost their lives during the election. We haven't come to any conclusion on this matter. Nobody arrested, nobody prosecuted. And this doesn't speak well for the rule of law in this country. Society has failed them. Our political system has failed them. The criminal justice system has failed them. In civil society organizations, we should be putting pressure to get answers for inaction on the part of the criminal justice system to resolve a matter. It was on everybody's lips during and after the election. Yet, nothing has happened.
For many, the events that have played out since December 8, 2020 creates the impression that these individuals may have been killed in an election and simply forgotten. Komla Adum, TV3 News, Accra.
They were killed in the bloodiest election in Ghana's democratic history. 6 families now without one of their own, and those who were lucky to survive maimed forever. The chaotic scenes of the hugely contentious polls are still fresh on their minds. 1 year on, no justice, no compensation, and no word from the police.
What in essence it means is their deaths mean nothing. And that is disturbing because they are humans, they are Ghanaians.
Nobody has been arrested, nobody has been prosecuted, and it is a cause for worry because it undermines the rule of law.
Komla Adum in TV3's latest feature speaks to families of victims and survivors of the bloody 2020 December elections. Killed in an election and forgotten. Premieres December 14, 9:30 p.m. on TV3.
We're going to raise all the pertinent questions about this incident and ask why there's been so much silence and what the updates are to investigations into circumstances leading to the murder or the death of these persons a year on. 9:30 p.m. December 14 is a day to watch. Stay with us. This is News 360. We will be back shortly after this quick break.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I'm not checking.
Acrobat 2. I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop!
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be paint though.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Can you picture? Jack, I don't know.
Is that not your wife?
Or call him. Every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop, everyone! Baby. What's setting me here for tonight? You know I like that sweet-scented insecticide spray. Little bit of the porch. Now do we have pity living room hall? Bedroom what you hear? Me love you, me baby. Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children, so I always win. If you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet-scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man will say baby. And the spray also sweet-scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. Prevention is always better than Maunsanka or Heaven insecticide spray. And in the coil, if you say Heaven dear,
this advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Mama Chelsea.
Fair.
Different era, better results. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi,
Kale Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
See, you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Then you gotta take perk down, love the way it tastes. Feel the perky buzz from your toes to your face. You gotta take perk down, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk down, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk down, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk down, perky it today.
Perk up anywhere, even at home, with the rich milky taste of Peck biscuits. This advert is FDA approved.
Get digi with it. Get digi with it. On your mark, ready, set, let's go. CV, G-Mobile, USSD, Young Co. Star 924 hash. Vanco the go. Smartphone no, young phone no. Ever for your money transfer. For your water bill, for your light bill. For credit, star 924 hash. You deserve it. Let's go. Get digi with it. Star 924 hash. Get digi with it. Star 924 hash.
CBG is empowering you to get digi. CBG Mobile. Simply dial star 924 hash and get digi with it.
CBG, we stand with you.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful. Cleansoft, my favorite. Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Top of your game with Visa. Pay with Visa and win a 2-night staycation for two at a luxury hotel. AFCON is proudly brought to you by Visa.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Roma Insecticide Spray and Coil, Universal Merchant Bank,
Lufat.
Let's now bring you the latest in the world of business. Good evening. My name is Della Michelle. The Ghana Oil Company, GOIL, has suspended its membership from the Association of Oil Marketing Companies. In a letter cited by the TV3 Business News team to the AOMCs, GOIL has also rejected claims of government interference in the petroleum downstream market. Now, GOIL says that 15 pesos reduction in the price of their petroleum products was in line with their own pricing policy and not a government directive as suggested in earlier reports. This follows claims from the Association of Oil Marketing Companies of government's interference in the company's business. Now, the AOMCs had earlier in a statement also requested government to withdraw the 15 pesos reduction directive to GOIL and desist from interfering in the deregulation of the regime. Let's still stay in the oil and gas sector as chairman of the sector of the Association of Ghana Industries, Kwame Jantwa, is calling for the depoliticization of the management of the Tema oil refinery after a task force from ECG on Tuesday cut electricity supply to the company for its failure to pay its bills. He insists on further concerns over its financial status.
Tema Oil Refinery has been dormant due to what some have described as financial setbacks.
You would realize that once it's privatized, it's our own people who go and buy it. But we cannot afford to privatize an institution that can help the energy sector. we are throwing dollars outside by importing refined petroleum products. If we can get Tor back to where it's supposed to be, we are oil producing country. A certain quantum of our oil can go into Tor, and it's been done before. The NDC did it. They gave them 1 million barrels. They were able to refine. Let's put Tor right and refine it for ourselves.
After power was restored to the facility by the ECG on Tuesday, sources say management of Tor is taking steps to start operations by June next year.
Quite a lot of people in Tor are using it for their own interest. Those, especially with the oil sector, those who have the capacity to run Tor should be given the chance to run Tor.
The oil and gas sector of the Association of Ghana Industries is confident that the Tema Oil Refinery will be able to perform at full capacity and refine crude if the right management is put in place.
And in more business stories, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority says it is devising mechanisms to reduce revenue shortfalls after it recorded a 1.84% decline in non-traditional exports in 2020. The $2.8 billion accrued, which is a shortfall in the targeted $3 billion, is attributed to the impact of COVID-19 on export trade and increasing freight costs.
Ghana's non-traditional export sector comprises 4 subsectors, including agriculture, handicrafts, manufacturing. The manufacturing sector led exports with 83.7%. CEO of GEPA, Dr. Ifua Sabiasari, indicates the authority is leveraging on innovation to rake in more gains.
Whilst we are recovering, we are building the capacity of our exporters such that by the time that everything will be okay, by way of the COVID, you see that our exporters have built their capacity, they have learnt a lot, they have redefined their products and services, and they will even get the opportunity to send better goods and products out there.
The authority is engaging various stakeholders to ensure easier freight.
This is happening also because of the linkages that we have with other agencies. We don't work in a silo here. That is something that GEPA doesn't do at all. When we have an issue or when we want to do an intervention, we look for who to collaborate with. We know our stakeholders and we work very well with them.
Ghana's non-traditional products were exported to 152 countries, with Burkina Faso as the leading destination among ECOWAS countries.
And that's all the business news we have for you. There's more business news available on 3news.com. My name is Della Michelle. Thank you for your company. Keep watching News 360 for the latest in the world of sports.
In a world where you can be anything, who will you become? When you can go anywhere and never be alone, how far will you go? When your voice can reach every ear in the world, who will you inspire? When your money can travel faster and further, who will it reach? When you can tell a story in every language, which one will you tell? When you don't need permission to turn your dreams into reality, you go for it. Whatever it is, wherever it is, go. And when you think you've reached your limit, we'll keep you going. Let's go.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation. Over the past 45 years, we've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
The show about anyone conquering.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
In Jija, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat. I malaria drop.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat. A 2 malaria sentence. FDA. I should say it again. Kapu say
But if you blue, I said about sugar crab.
Minty.
Chisa, you are damn blue biao. Not dear cross him. I want to have a quail by your food now. See, I'm your baby found. I don't feel no cemetery. Where blue was blue color and upper iron white. Where they say, Fanya, why you? Not saying I'm a book, I'm a painting thing now. What painted that way? Oh, no, Sufaka for paint. I'm out of fear than a chameleon house. It's a new color every season. A new thing I Ghana for. I say Ghana for Ghana for paint. I got text paint. I got paint papa. Say you blue you blue. Kaka be now here. Now that come on. The boss is so cost and the Agates. You pass on. Do engagement now. Let's move by Mama Agates. I can see him. We don't problem.
Global is the app that brings you anything you want, like some crispy chicken and ending the day in a big way, or what you need from the supermarket right away. Order a Global and we'll deliver.
Should you rumor to me?
Roma insecticide spray at that Roma. Interfere, Entatia, make it her. No way. And Tonton Bako crown animal. And also a pussy. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. And my deviation. Roma!
Roma and Tonton Master.
This segment is brought to you by
Cal Kids Toothpaste.
Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG.
Hello, good evening, and it's time for us to bring you the latest in the world of sport here on News 360. And we're starting with our sister station, Onua Sports, and that's because the second edition of the Onua Sports Community Gala is set to take place on December 10 and 11, 2021. Now, the gala will be held at the Fadama AstroTurf Park in Accra, starting on Friday. Now, here is a news desk report on that upcoming event.
As many as 8 communities in Accra, including defending champions Medina, will compete for the ultimate prize. Medina won the maiden edition and have vowed to successfully defend it, but faced stiff opposition from popular football communities such as Fadama, Tema, Osu, La, and Gamashi. The draw was held today on Onya Agrofie, hosted by Daniel Nanakwame Yeboah, with support from Captain Smart and TV3's Thierry Nyan. Mouth-watering encounters between the teams came up with Tema and La playing the first game on Friday. Various teams who are representing had a lot to say ahead of the gala competition.
We have Ojanote, we have Polo, we have Kante, we have Puyo, we have Morino, the coach, and we have the team manager, Sir Kobna. Dansuma 64, men at work.
Pirates is the team. 7 Pirates is the team. Come and support us in your numbers and support us. We'll win the trophy and bring it back to them.
We are fighting against with Gamashi again. And they beat us in Magdan. So, as for Onua TV, we are going in for a revenge.
Nothing but victory is the sole word. And I'm quite sure and hopefully Ashaiman will emerge victors over our counterparts from Dansoman. And I'm urging and using this platform to speak to all Ashaiman supporters to run to the Fadama Park to support us.
Boy West Brown, as you all know, And I'm gonna promise you that we are doing nothing but bringing the trophy home. Come one and come all and come and support your people of Labadi. LA City Soldiers won.
The tournament begins on Friday with a knockout phase on March day 1. Match day 2 will be on Saturday, having the semi-finals and the finals.
All right, so remember, it is this Friday and Saturday at the new Fadama AstroTurf. Now, away from there, but still in Ghana football, founder of King Faisal Football Club, Alhaji Karim Grusa, has described the recent performances of his club as excellent, buoyed by the recent 3-2 victory over Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the Ashanti Derby last Sunday. The outspoken football administrator has pronounced his side ready to match every team's quality in the GPL.
I told you already, I say, inshallah, yes. This year you will see different King Faisal. Yes. We have boys to run with any defender in this country. In this country, we have the striker, he can run with any player. That is Zuberu. I told TV3, without Ibrahim, we are going to beat Kotoko. Yes. Without Sarkodia, we are going to beat Kotoko. Yes. We beat them.
Alhaji, Kotoko complained that your 2 goals scored was clear.
2-1 against King Faisal.
Alhaji Grusa, definitely an excellent move there after his side's victory over Kotoko. But remember, in the UEFA Champions League, there's a lot happening. And Chelsea travelled all the way to Russia to face Zenit St. Petersburg, and a dramatic game that produced 6 goals meant that Chelsea will draw 3-3, and Juventus on the other side in the same group have won 1-0 against Malmo. What this means is that Juventus will progress to the next round as number 1 from that particular group, Chelsea finishing second. And what that means for Chelsea is that they could potentially face Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Ajax or Leo in the round of 16. But then this man scratching his head is Tottenham manager Antonio Conte, and he says that 8 players and 5 members of staff have tested positive for the COVID-19 at the club. Now, Spurs are scheduled to play Rennes in the Europa Conference League on Thursday, and UEFA says the match is due to take place as scheduled.
This is a serious problem. It's a pity because I think that during the press conference, and I have to talk about football, about the next game, and not about COVID, but the situation is serious. Every day we are having a positive. Today, 1 player and 1 member of staff. We don't know, and we continue to have contact with the people that the day before wasn't negative. At the end of the 3 session today, again, 1 player positive, another member.
Antonio Conte speaking there, and that'll be all for the sports here on News 360 with me, Theo Inyan. We'll bring you some more sports, and remember that long version of Alhaji Grusa's interview plus more in the Ghana Premier League will be live here on TV3 at 9:30 on GPL Express. I'll see you some other time.
Mama, I can't stand it.
Just a moment. And now power, huh?
Yeah!
And now, oh yeah, Jack Macron, no more. It's you cannot guess there. Hey, you condom ray. What up, Kenny? Tomato sauce, only a baby. And a pasadine for box with salad, yeah. Hey, you stew. And a jollofa. Now, it's the one that don't know it though. Up to that. And the ball of ya. Oh, man, it's a bunny. You want a soy sauce? Check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a baked beans for the breakfast. Let's all a salad, ma'am. Oh, she and a tuna. Which are the puffle? Let's all a salad, ma'am. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box with so kinsey. Oats, the crematinos. You want and a spaghetti. Talia papabi. Masunin Sijadure. Nafa and a spaghetti no gum. Who and a pataliano are you ready for watching? On you with you. So ya no pa no sukodia.
Dem de ruboyi ebie ahwehwem ajatu.
Smiles are one of our most precious gifts. The problem is 1 in 2 people suffer from cavities. That's why hundreds of dentists like myself work together with Pepsodent to teach families in Ghana to brush day and night. Remember, Your smile is the most important reason to brush day and night. Pepsodent, because every smile matters.
And I drew me so some dear was yen. Jaje adie bia obeye no so beba hobby.
E was say wudi kra no to school foforo mu.
Unsem me so dodo.
Debbie sister, want to mend your sister.
I was say we nya kokodro won hyehyeye bia obeye ho. Impo se nipa nyina na onya adwe. Emum ade baako a won nyina agitum ne waduane no dede ni ni hwam papa bia awon dro wo mu. Any fe any said your paste na pi. Na ye the fiber any vitamin takamoti. Tasty Tom and Rich Tomato Mix mabusuani nyina aduane a ede esanso ma hodin. Tasty Tom and Rich Tomato Mix. Strength comes from within. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Royal Aroma and more for another craniani bit say iron, vitamin B3, B6, B9, B12 and a zinc. So ro and mono predodo sen krana wo noa e mo aduane no e free mu. Yeah. Drew, what the bag no kohine? New Royal Aroma Fortified Rice. Ayemawu anywhere busia. FDA aji ejadie nkrato atum.
Water gives life. Water is life. Enjoy the pure, refreshing taste of Awake purified drinking water, which comes in a uniquely designed bottle with a lemon green tap. Water is your perfect way to stay hydrated. And remember, for every bottle you buy, an amount will be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center, Ghana. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. For bulk purchase, contact 0262 351 251.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Payment news segment is brought to you by Puma Drinks.
Tonight in entertainment, Ghanaian musician Black Sharif is thrilled about the success of the remix version of the song Second Sermon, done in collaboration with Grammy Awards winner Burna Boy.
Actually a success.
Okay.
You get it. Yes, I'm very excited about it. The release, the making of the song, everything about the song.
Are you happy?
Very.
Are you happy with the outcome?
Yeah.
So who would you look forward to working more with Burna Boy in future, or like you have someone else that you'd want to work with?
A lot of people. Not only Burna, a lot. Like so, let's see what the future holds.
Okay. So what are your plans for the future? What should we expect from you? What should your fans expect from you?
My EP. I've always talked about my EP like over a year now. Yeah, my EP is coming next year finally. So just watch out.
An outspoken poet, Itabobo, the African poet, has also urged Africans to be proud of their culture, calling for an appreciation of the skin color, language, and identity.
I am black, but not proud. A foreigner in my own land. I am endowed with gold, but always go for loan. I am very religious, pray without ceasing, but can't make a Caesar.
To whom it may concern, Itabobo, the African poet, rebukes African leaders for mismanaging the continent's rich natural resources, enriching themselves and doing very little to lift their people out of poverty. The outspoken poet again called on African countries to reduce their excessive dependency on raw materials, export and imported consumer goods.
Oh, Africa! Dabe! Why will you go and have a hukofos imported into the country before we can eat chicken? Why can't the government support the local farmers to breed our own? That is why the dollar is always rising, because we are not producing. We are only importing, we are only buying. So if you go there and they say it has been increased by 5%, we have no choice than to add more money to our money and buy it. Let's cut importation. Let us produce.
The poetic piece fearlessly tackles skin bleaching and wants the youth to steer clear of skin lightening creams and be proud of their skin color.
Where is my future? The only creature that hates his culture. The only one with melanin.
Coming up, international news. We first begin from Germany.
Olaf Scholz has been sworn in as Germany's 9th federal post-World War II Chancellor, formally taking power after Angela Merkel's historic 16 years as leader. He promised he would do all he could to work towards a new start for Germany. His center-left Social Democrats will govern alongside the Greens and the business-friendly Free Democrats. The German parliament, the Bundestag, backed him as Chancellor by 395 votes to 303 and was then formally appointed as the 9th federal Chancellor by President Frank-Walter Steinmeier.
Join me and the rest of the team tomorrow morning on 3FM 92.7 from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. But make some time and visit 3news.com for some more news. I am Alfred Okansi.
And I am Portia Gabo. Good evening.